I've owned 5 different Camaros. Count that, 5 Camaros, right? Power seats here, PDR is like right here. If you see this here, that's how you know you got the PDR. She's back, man. You guys have been asking for her. Dianthe's back on the channel.
We back.
Yeah, there's love, there's hate, lies and games, faith.
All right, so I've seen all the comments. I've seen people, you know, with their questions and stuff, like from Instagram to YouTube and stuff like that, basically saying like they were either, I don't know, there was half and half. There were some people that was really happy that I got the Honda Civic Type R. There's some people that was really upset that I got out of the Camaro SS 1LE. And I'm here to do this video today to kind of clarify why I made the choice, why I made the move from the 2021 Camaro SS 1LE to our 2023 FL5 Honda Civic Type R. So if you wanted to know why we made the move, and I'm also going to point out why a lot of other Camaro owners should make a similar move, tune into this video. If you're just mad and you know you're upset that we got out of the Camaro, still stay tuned, because we have some news about getting a new last year 2024 model year Camaro as well. Or we might mess around and buy this one back, but stay tuned. This video is going to be interesting. All right, so I'm going to start out this video by pointing out that in my life so far, I've owned 5 different Camaros. Count that, 5 Camaros, right? So I've had I think it was like a 1984 Camaro. I think that would be the 3rd gens. I had a 2013 Camaro SS 1LE as well. That was a 5th gen. Then I had 2 2016 Camaros. I had the Turbo 4 and then the SS, and then I had this 2021 Camaro SS 1LE. So I've had quite a few Camaros, and I've never owned a Honda ever. Like ever. Like I remember like when originally, and another thing too, originally I'm from Trinidad, right? So in Trinidad, I learned how to drive stick shift. I think it was like on a Suzuki. And then the first stick shift car that I drove in the US was a friend of mine's Honda. I think it was a Honda Accord. It was like a 90s car. And I remember how mechanical and fun that felt, but that was like basically my only experience really with a Honda. Like I've never really had any other experience with a Honda. So I'm like, all right. Oh, actually, no, I lie. My wife did own a Honda Fit before, and I did drive that, but you know, it's a Honda Fit, it's different. So yeah, other than those 2 experiences, I've never really messed with Hondas or anything like that. And I'm sad to say that I was one of those people that was like, oh, you know, Chevy gang, Camaro. I viewed the Honda Civic Type R as like basically just a underpowered commuter car. Like I didn't see it as ever being able to hold up to like a Camaro SS 1LE or any Camaro really. And I'm here to say that I was wrong. I was absolutely wrong about that. Yes, it's down on power. Yes, it's front wheel drive, and that does have its drawbacks. But in so many other ways, the Honda Civic Type R is a better car than the Camaro SS 1LE. And I'll go into, first, let's just talk about styling. When you look at the styling of the CTR or the Honda Civic Type R, it's a little bit more rounded, and you know, it's beautiful in a way. Like it, you know, it has like a classic beauty lines and stuff like that. You go into the Camaro, this Camaro is beautiful as well. I love my old Camaro here, but it's a little bit more boxy, and you know, it doesn't look as refined as the Honda Civic Type R. And it does have arches, right? But look at the arch here versus the arch here. This is a way more dramatic arch, you know. And they both have Brembo brakes. You can see the Brembos here, Brembos here. They're both beautiful wheels. I believe the Camaro is one of the best looking wheels ever, but as you guys saw, to replace one of these wheels, it was like $1,200, which I had to do one time. I'm not sure what it is on the Type R, but I'm guessing it's less. And then the Type R, you know, has the little ear vents and stuff like that. So, you know, looks for looks. And then when you get into the interior, like I'll show you. So the Camaro interior, it's pretty basic, even though this is a 1SS 1LE, but it has the Recaro seats, but it's all basic on the inside there. And then when you go into the Type R, you got the red guts, the red seat belts, just, you know, the red carpet, you know, the shifter is amazing. So to me, looks wise, I think the Type R edges out the Camaro slightly. The Camaro 100% edges out the Type R when it comes to sound. Like, we all know that. Now I'll put in a little sound clip here. But yeah, so, you know, the Camaro wins sounds and it wins raw horsepower. But as far as speed, I don't know. I'm going to be meeting up with Charles soon, and we're going to do like a race between him and the Type R and see how, you know, far back the Type R is than the Camaro. I suspect not that far back based on what I've been able to get out of the Type R so far. And then I know, like, once I'm able to tune this thing on a roll, it's probably going to demolish the Camaro like big time, because you can feel the power in it. Like, so it's not a slouch speed wise. On the track, I would say it depends on who's driving, but if this Type R is tuned, I feel the chassis on this Type R is actually a little bit stiffer than the chassis on the Camaro. I would say that I drove Nate's his last Z11 LE, that Rapid Blue Z11 LE that he had, and I would say the chassis on the Type R feels very similar to that Z11 LE. I would say the Camaro SS LE, the chassis and the way it feels a lot more softer. It feels more like a GT car. It feels like more like a touring type car. This feels like a track car. The Type R feels like a track car when you drive it. Now, another reason like why I personally decided to get out of the Camaro and into the Type R was the cost of maintenance. The cost of maintenance is no joke on any SS1 LE, because, you know, you have the 285s up front as far as tires, and you have the 305s in the rear. And just to replace those tires, the cheapest that I could find was around $1,400 to replace the tires. I could replace the tires on the Type R for like 800 something bucks. Like, major difference there. You know, it's so much better on gas versus the Type R. I think since I've had this Type R for like 2 weeks now, and I have filled up once, and I've been driving it everywhere, up and down, and I think I still have like 283 miles of range left. So it's definitely way better on gas. And I was thinking about, you know, eventually, like, man, I'm gonna have to swap out the brakes and rotors and everything on the Camaro. That's gonna be easily $4,000. $4,000 to swap out, you know, the brakes and rotors. And then it's just I'll be honest with you, I think the Camaro SS1 LE and the ZL1s and ZL1s 1 LEs, those are rich people cars. So unless you're like extremely wealthy already, I don't recommend getting it. And if you have one of these cars right now and you're not, you know, you don't have the ability to fix them yourself and work on them yourself, you can't rent yourself, then you got to have money. You know what I mean? You got to have the money to maintain them, because they are one of the best purpose-built sports cars that you can get. Like, people don't believe me when I say it, but after owning this Camaro SS1 LE for like 3 years, I would say it's right up there with some Porsches, some of the Porsches up there. You know what I mean? The maintenance, like, I actually went to order a Porsche 911 GTS, and I found out that the maintenance on that was cheaper than what it is on the Camaro SS1 LE. So, you know, if you want a purpose-built sports car, then definitely rush out and go get one of the 2024 Camaro SS1 LEs, or, you know, ZL1s or ZL11 LEs if you can get them. But that's another reason why I decided to go with the Type R. The other reason is that Chevy, you know, GM, they decided to discontinue the 6th gen Camaros, and they don't look like they'll be replacing it with a gasoline engine, you know, V8 manual gearbox type deal. And for me, it's a two-way reason why I got out of mine, because GM, like, they stopped making them, is that the value of mine shot up, and I was able to get a really good trade-in situation going into the Type R. And then the other reason is that because there's not going to be any more of these, I feel like the interest on YouTube and things like that was going to die out whereas the interest on the FL5 Type R is just starting to progress. It's just starting to blow up. So I felt like it was a smart move, you know, monetarily and, you know, for YouTube and stuff like that, to go into the Type R, and smart to get out of the Camaro now while the value is so high. Because I'm sure if you're looking for one, if you're trying to find like a SS1 Elite that looks like this, that has, like, I'll show you some of the things that this one has, right? Like this one has the heads-up display, the PDR, you know, you've got the Recaro seats here. PDR is like right here. If you see this here, that's how you know you got the PDR. Like, it's, you know, it's an amazing car, right? So to get one that has all those options and stuff, you might be stuck getting one like this, like a 2021 or a 2020 or 2022. I believe not even that many 2022s had the PDR because they were on constraints. So for me, I'm like, okay, values are up. It's hard to find these cars. Let me get out of mine now while the value's way up, because who knows what GM is going to do. Like, maybe they're going to see cars like these, like the GR Corolla, like the Honda Civic Type R, like the Golf R, the Subaru WRX. Maybe they start seeing these cars selling really hard. And I think Mazda's coming out with something too. Stay tuned. I have a video coming out with what a new sports car that Mazda's going to be doing. And maybe if they see the Ford Mustang selling like crazy, maybe they'll come out with a 7th gen. And if they do come out with a 7th gen and it does follow the same principle of rear wheel drive, you know, manual gearbox, V8, if they do that, then the price of the 6th gens will decrease. And then my mileage and everything would have been so high up, so it wouldn't have made sense to get out the car at that time. So for me, the timing was perfect to get out of the Camaro. It had the most value in it. And then I got into something new, something that I've never had before, something that does have good value, to something that people are searching for on YouTube. People want to know what it's like to own and drive and live with this car, which I'll be doing a video about that soon as well. But it's, you know, for me, it was a no-brainer to do it. Yes, it was down on horsepower. Yes, down on the sound. The sound is not as great as it is in the Camaro, but here's some of the things that you get with the Type R, right? So obviously you have the looks, and I'll tell you this much, since owning the Type R, I've had more people pull up to me and say nice car and want to see the car and want to take pictures with it. It's a way more rare vehicle than the Camaro is. And remember, for a long time the Type R was forbidden fruit in the US. So, you know, there's a lot of people that just wants to see one right now. So I think, you know, it was the right move going that way. And then the technology is like on a different level. Like, there's so much technology in the Type R that, and oh, first of all, yo, shout out to Southeastern Honda. They're the ones that sold me this. I think they were very fair. They gave me like a really good deal. My guy Angel, he's the guy that sold it to me. I'll put his info in there if you guys want to reach out to him. Like, he's really helped me out with this process. I think John, the GM, like he was amazing. Like, great dealership, great company. But yeah, so let me show you some of the things with the Type R. You get that sound when you just get in the vehicle. You have a full digital gauge there. And let me lower the music. And so you have a full digital cluster there. This is one of the reasons too why I went with the Type R, you know, over many other cars. Let me check that out. So first you get built-in navigation, which I like. I know nobody really uses them anymore. Everyone just uses Android Auto or, you know, Apple CarPlay. I like having this, like, just to cruise to, you know. And we have the Honda Log R, you know, to show the 3 tips right there. And you have so much information. There's just so much information, technology and stuff built into this vehicle. I mean, like, it's incredible. That's for data logging, you know. There's just so much. There's a plethora of it. Sorry about that, guys. That was 100 gang Nate calling. But yeah, so you get a lot of different there's so much technology and so many things that comes with the Type R that you don't get in the Camaro. You have shift lights up there for when you're shifting hard and you want to see, you know, your red line and stuff. And the Camaro has that in the heads-up display as well. But it's just cool that it has different boost gauges. You know, there's it can show you what you're listening to and different thing like there. There's the R mode, which changes up everything. Like it changes it up here, changes it up there. Like there's just, you know, there's a ton of technology, right? And let me go ahead and turn it off and I'll show you guys something, right? So you get a whole lot of technology, and it's fast, it's reliable. And then one of the best things that this has for my lifestyle, because I have kids, you know, a wife and kids, I can put in car seats. Well, it sucks, I could only put in 2 car seats, but that's also why I got the Subi, is because the Subi can take the 3 car seats, but I can put in 2 car seats here. So if I just needed to take 2 of my kids somewhere, I can, and that's not an issue. And then here's the best thing, man. Check this out. Tons and tons of trunk space. Like this is the air raid cold air intake that I had on the Camaro. The dealership was nice enough to take it off for me. So that could not fit inside here. Like, if you look at the Camaro trunk, there was no way for me to get this box to fit inside the trunk of the Camaro. I had to put it in the front seat. But in the Honda, I'm able to put that box here plus my equipment, and I still have a ton of room for more. So I mean, come on, if you have a family and you just want to enjoy driving but still have the convenience of the space and, you know, availability to put car seats and stuff like that, then the Type R is a no-brainer, right? And I'm gonna let you guys in on a little secret, right? As fun as this Camaro SS 1 Elite is to drive, I would venture to say that missing the sound is the only major difference really. I would say the Type R is just as fun, if not more, because you can see the road a lot better. If you look in the Camaro, there's a ton of like blind spots and stuff like that. You know, I was always nervous when driving the Camaro that there's somebody in my blind spot that I don't see them. In the Type R, I can look over my shoulder, look in my mirrors, and I see everything. Plus, there's like a whole bunch of safety features and all that as well. And maybe I would have felt better about the Camaro had this been a 2SS 1 Elite, because the 2SS has a lot more technology and features and stuff. But then, you know, you're paying an absurd amount of money nowadays to get one of those as well. So, I don't know. I think in many different ways, the Honda is the superior vehicle, but I want you to comment below and let me know what you think. I don't know. I think that the Honda is better in a lot of different ways, and it's easy to drive fast and still not be worried, because when you drive the Camaro fast, the whole neighborhood knows that you're going fast. Like, you can hear it. With this, you can drive fast and just enjoy it. And, you know, if it wasn't for the color, if this Honda Civic Type R was in black, then I'll probably be flying under the radar a lot better. The color kind of, you know, not so much. But just being on a highway and just having fun with it, it's a lot of fun to drive. It's a lot of fun to just, it's stress-free in a way, or it kind of takes your stress down a little bit less than you do in a Camaro. Like, when you're in a Camaro, it is fun. It's a ton of fun to drive. It's a monster, but you're paying for it in the upkeep. You're worried all the time because you don't want anybody to hit you, like, because of all the blind spots and stuff like that. So if you're on the verge, if you have like a Camaro right now and you're on the verge of looking for something else to get into, I highly recommend the Honda Civic Type R. If you could find, like, I know right now the dealership here at Southeastern, they have a white one on the showroom floor. If you guys want to jump in and get one of those, I know they're willing to give a really good offer on that. And especially if you have a Camaro and you tell them Race Car Friends sent you, I'm pretty sure they're going to look out for you. Sorry about that, guys. Somebody just came up to compliment me on both the cars, actually. So yeah, both cars are amazing, but I'll wrap up this video by saying, what's up, man?
What's the channel, dog?
Race Car Friends.
I got you. I'm gonna follow you.
All right, thanks, man. Yeah, so It's beautiful, man.
How about that one?
Yeah, it's beautiful.
That yours?
Yeah.
I love the color.
Thank you, thank you.
Sit out the window.
Huh?
Sit out the window.
Yeah. Yeah, I will eventually.
You just get it?
About 2 weeks ago. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. So as I was saying, guys, I would say both vehicles, they definitely gather like a lot of attention. It's just something that comes with the territory. But yeah, in my experience so far, the Honda Civic Type R has been getting a lot more attention, and it's a fun car to have. It's a fun car to have. Now for me, if I had to do it all over again, I think I would make the same exact move, just because like I'm somebody that you know has a family, and the Type R is a little bit more practical. But like I said, it doesn't take away from the fun that you would have if you love driving. And I feel like the Type R is very much so a driver's car. So if you enjoy driving, you will enjoy the Type R. The Camaro, like I said, GM is phasing them out. So if you're somebody that has money, you just want to collect them, then yes, you can collect it and keep it. And the only downside though, because I've seen this happen with a lot of the Z28s, sometimes GM will stop manufacturing parts. So sometimes it may be difficult for you to get certain parts, and if you're not able to get those parts, then this car becomes a whole lot more expensive, because then you have to find somebody aftermarket that can do it for you, or it may not even be available. So safe choice for me is to go with the Honda Civic Type R, but you can't go wrong with either. And if you guys want me to do a video where we do a race between Type R and a SS1LE, comment below, let me know. That will be coming soon. If you want us to buy another like Camaro SS1LE, or any Camaro really, you know, comment below, let me know. Also let me know what type of content do you want to see us do with the Type R, because we have a lot of videos. I have a lot of videos in mind. I have a lot of videos coming, but I want to make the type of content that you guys really want to see. So comment below, let me know. And with that, Race Car Friends out. All right, guys, she's back, man. You guys been asking for her. Diane's back on the channel. And it's funny, right? Because not the last time, but the time before, the first time when we actually met and we shot and everything, I was with Tacoma, and you weren't a fan of that, right? Yeah, man. So now we Honda gang. You know, she got her Honda there too. You know? Yeah. So we Honda gang now. And Nate, 100 gang Nate, he traded in his Camaro that was in the same type of color as this. He's got a Honda Civic Type R as well.
What you want?